Everyone said she was addicted to him. Her therapist, her best friend, even her mother. But Aria knew the difference between addiction and love? Or did she? When the man who saved her life became the very thing destroying it, she had to answer one question. Can you love someone so much it looks like obsession? Aria didn't believe in fate until she saw him across the circle. Day 3 of inpatient rehab, and she'd perfected the art of looking present while being completely absent. Then Kai spoke. I'm here because I chose pills over my daughter's birthday, he said, voice rough as gravel. I'm here because I almost didn't wake up. And I'm here because I'm tired of being afraid of myself. His honesty was a punch to her sternum. Everyone else recited rehearsed confessions, performed their recovery for the counselors. But Kai bled truth. When his eyes met hers, something sparked. Recognition, maybe, like her soul had been waiting for someone who understood that specific flavor of broken. After group, he found her in the courtyard. You didn't share, he said. I don't perform my pain for strangers, Aria replied. He smiled, sad and knowing. Neither do I. That's why I actually told the truth. He sat beside her. I'm Kai, and you look like someone who knows what it's like to feel too much. Aria's walls trembled. I'm Aria, and you look like someone who gets why that's dangerous. They stayed there until sunset, 2 people finally seen. The rules were clear. No relationships in recovery. You need to fall in love with yourself first, the counselors preached. But rules felt arbitrary when Kai understood her darkness without judgment. They found each other in stolen moments. Before breakfast, sharing cigarettes neither should smoke. During art therapy, painting side by side in silence that felt like conversation. Late nights when insomnia clawed at them both. Meeting in the common room to talk about everything except their addictions. Why pills? Kai asked one night. Aria traced patterns on her coffee cup. Because feeling nothing was better than feeling everything. What about you? Same, but opposite. He leaned back. I felt nothing for so long that pills were the only thing that made me remember I was alive. Even if it was killing me. That's the fucked up part, Aria whispered. The thing destroying you is the only thing that makes you feel real. Kai's hand found hers. You make me feel real. And it terrifies me. Aria should have pulled away. Every counselor, every recovery book, every statistic warned against this. But his touch didn't feel like addiction. Felt like coming home after years of being lost. Still, a voice whispered. How do you know the difference? They kissed for the first time in the stairwell during a fire drill. Everyone else filed outside, but Aria had frozen. Panic attack crushing her chest. Kai stayed. Look at me, he commanded softly. Count with me. For in. Hold for 7. 8 out. She breathed with him until her lungs remembered how. When she opened her eyes, his face was inches away. The kiss happened like gravity, inevitable, dangerous, necessary. It was desperate and tender and tasted like relief. Like finding water after days in the desert. When they broke apart, both were crying. This is a mistake, Aria whispered. I know, Kai agreed, kissing her again. They became experts at secret touches. His hand on her lower back in group. Her fingers brushing his during meditation. Stolen kisses in empty rooms. Each touch felt like relapse and recovery at once. Dr. Morrison, Aria's therapist, noticed the change. You seem lighter, but also more volatile. What's different? Everything. Nothing. I'm just feeling things again, Aria said carefully. That's good. But remember, early recovery isn't the time for intense relationships. You need to fall in love with myself first, Aria finished. I know, but how could she, when Kai's love felt like the first honest thing in years? Kai got discharged first. 30 days clean, ready to face the world. Aria had 2 weeks left. They stood in the parking lot, the space between them charged with everything unsaid. We can't do this on the outside, Aria said, though her heart screamed otherwise. Everyone says relationships in early recovery fail, that they're just substituting one addiction for another. Kai's jaw tightened. So that's what this is to you? A substitute? I don't know, Aria's voice cracked. I don't know how to tell the difference. How do I know if I love you, or if I'm just addicted to how you make me feel? Maybe there is no difference, Kai said quietly. Maybe love always feels like you can't breathe without it. Maybe the healthy thing and the real thing aren't always the same. He pulled out a piece of paper with his number. I'll wait for you. 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, I'll wait. But you have to decide if what we have is worth the risk. Aria watched him drive away, the paper burning in her palm. That night, she dreamed of pills and his kiss, and couldn't tell which was the nightmare. Aria lasted 3 days after discharge before calling him. They met at his apartment. Small, sparse, walls still bare because he was learning to build a life, not just survive one. I can't stop thinking about you, she confessed at the door. My sponsor says it's dangerous, that I'm not ready, that we'll destroy each other. Kai pulled her inside. What do you think? I think I've been dead for 3 years, and you're the only thing that makes me feel alive. And I don't know if that's love or just another way to escape reality. Then let's find out together, he whispered. They made love like prayer and confession, like 2 drowning people finally finding air. His hands traced her scars, the ones on her wrists, the invisible ones on her soul. She kissed the tattoo over his heart that said, Survivor, in his daughter's handwriting. It was raw and tender and nothing like the numb encounters of her past. She felt everything, every touch, every breath, every moment of connection. It hurt beautifully, like frozen fingers thawing, like a heart remembering how to beat. Afterward, tangled in sheets and each other, Kai whispered, I love you, not the high, not the escape. You. Aria pressed her sobriety chip into his palm. Then help me stay. Aria's best friend Rachel staged an intervention 3 months into their relationship. Her mother, her sponsor, even Dr. Morrison sat in Rachel's living room, faces grave with concern. You're not yourself anymore, Rachel said, sliding printed texts across the coffee table. Look at these. Can't breathe without you. You're my everything. I don't exist when we're apart. Aria, this isn't love. This is codependency. You don't understand, Aria protested. We do, her mother interrupted gently. Sweetheart, you replaced one addiction with another. This man. Kai. Aria corrected sharply. Kai is your drug now. You can't spend every waking moment with someone and call it healthy. Dr. Morrison leaned forward. Aria, real love is steady. What you're describing is obsession. The intensity you feel, that's your brain seeking the same dopamine rush pills gave you. Aria stood, fury and fear warring in her chest. So what? I'm supposed to be alone forever? Never feel anything intense because it might be unhealthy? You want me numb again. We want you whole, Rachel said, tears streaming. Not dependent, not defined by someone else. We want you to love yourself as much as you love him. Aria looked at the faces around her. People who loved her, who'd watched her almost die. They saw sickness. But when she closed her eyes, she saw Kai's smile and felt alive. I'm leaving, she said quietly. The intervention failed. They moved in together. Rachel stopped calling. Aria skipped sponsor meetings. They existed in a bubble where only they were real. But bubbles burst. Aria couldn't sleep without Kai beside her. Panic attacks seized her if he was gone too long. She stopped painting, stopped reading, stopped being anything except his. Kai enabled it because he was spiraling too. Missing his daughter's calls, losing his job, surviving on Aria's love like it was oxygen. The fights started small. You're smothering me, Kai snapped after she called 5 times during his job interview. You're pulling away, Aria accused when he wanted one night with friends. They'd apologize with desperate sex, with promises to be better, with love confessions that sounded more like pleas. But the pattern repeated. Need, fight, reconcile. Need, fight, reconcile. One night, Aria found him staring at an old pill bottle, empty for months but kept like a talisman. Are you thinking about using? She whispered, terrified. No, Kai said. But I understand why I did. This it's so intense it's exhausting. Sometimes I miss the numbness because at least it was quiet. His honesty shattered her. So I'm too much. Just like everyone said. You're not too much. We're too much. Together, we're burning so hot we're turning to ash. Rock bottom came at 3 a.m. when Aria realized she couldn't remember the last time she'd been happy alone. She sat on the bathroom floor, phone showing 17 missed calls from Rachel, and finally understood. She loved Kai. Deeply. Truly. But she'd made him responsible for her sobriety, her happiness, her entire existence. That wasn't love. That was drowning and calling the person barely keeping their own head above water a life raft. Kai found her there at dawn. What's wrong? Everything, Aria whispered. I thought they were wrong. The intervention, the therapists, everyone saying we were toxic. But Kai, I can't tell where I end and you begin anymore. And that terrifies me. He slid down beside her. I know. I've been afraid to say it because losing you feels like dying. But staying like this is killing us slowly. They held each other and cried. Not the passionate tears of their early days, but grief for what they were, for what they couldn't be, for the love that was real but not right. I need to learn how to be okay alone, Aria said. And you need to reconnect with your daughter, your life. We need to be whole people, not half people clinging to each other. So what do? Kai asked. We love each other enough to let go. For now. It was the hardest, bravest thing either had ever done. They created a plan with their therapists. 6 months apart. No contact. Individual therapy. Rebuilding separate lives. Moving out day was torture. Kai packed his boxes slowly, like each item carried memories too heavy to lift. Aria watched from the doorway, memorizing him. This doesn't mean I don't love you, he said, voice breaking. This means I love you enough to get healthy. To give us a chance at something sustainable. I know, Aria whispered. 6 months. And if we're both better, both whole, then we try again. The right way. They kissed goodbye, soft, sweet, devastating. Different from their first kiss in the stairwell. That kiss was desperation. This one was hope. The first month was hell. Aria's hands shook reaching for her phone. She attended meetings daily, called Rachel when loneliness screamed. She painted again, messy, emotional works about learning to sit with discomfort. Kai moved closer to his daughter, showed up sober and present at soccer games. He got a job he liked, started running, filled journals with everything he never said. They existed separately, learning that love isn't about needing someone to survive, but choosing them because you're already whole. By month 4, Aria could spend entire days without thinking of Kai and not feel guilty. She'd found herself again, the self she'd lost to pills, then to love that looked like addiction. 6 months and 2 weeks later, Aria's art show opened. She stood among paintings that told her story. Addiction, love, loss, healing. She was nervous but whole, surrounded by Rachel, her mother, her sponsor. People who'd fought for her when she couldn't fight for herself. Then she saw him. Kai stood in the doorway, his daughter's hand in his. He looked different, healthier, calmer, present. Their eyes met across the gallery, and Aria felt it. Not desperate need. Not obsessive intensity. Just love. Clean and sure and steady. He approached slowly. Hi. Hi, she breathed. This is Sophie, he said. And his daughter smiled shyly. Sophie, this is the artist I told you about. And someone very important to me. They talked for an hour. About therapy. About sobriety. About the lives they'd built separately. Kai showed her pictures of Sophie's soccer games. Aria showed him her studio. They were different people now, stronger, healthier, no longer drowning. I still love you, Kai said quietly. But I don't need you to breathe anymore. I just want you, if you'll have me. Slowly this time. Aria smiled, real and bright and free. I want you too. The healthy want. The choice, not the compulsion. They started over. Coffee dates. Therapy sessions together and apart. Boundaries and communication. Kai had dinner with Sophie twice a week. Aria maintained friendships, kept painting, stayed whole. Their love was quieter now but deeper. Not the burning intensity that consumed them, but warm, steady fire that sustained. 2 years later, at their small wedding, Rachel gave a toast. I once thought you two were each other's addiction, but you proved me wrong. You learned that real love isn't about completion. It's about two complete people choosing each other every day. Aria looked at Kai, his hands solid in hers, Sophie dancing nearby, her own art lining the walls, surrounded by people who loved them both. This wasn't addiction. This wasn't obsession. This was love. Hard-won, healthy, real. And it was worth every painful step to get here. If this story touched your soul, smash that like button and subscribe for more emotionally intense love stories that make you feel everything. Drop a comment. What's the difference between passionate love and unhealthy obsession? Let's talk about it. See you in the next story. Two hearts.